All right, this is David Brox with Coach Eric King of the Washington Wildcats. Introduce your players that you brought with you and kind of give us your impressions of the early season so far.
Okay, thank you. Today I have with me Mr. Jamarcus Don, my point guard, senior point guard, and Mr. DeMarco Smith, my junior point guard as well. So far we're doing pretty well. We're 2-2. We lost a tough game yesterday, 43-42 by one. We shouldn't have given it up against a good little team in Wichita, the Word of Life, Academy. But we've been playing pretty well, to be honest with you. We're young. I have to say that we have inexperienced. These are my two most experienced young men back out of a team of 12. We have 5 underclassmen. What I mean by underclassmen, we have 2 sophomores and 3 freshmen playing varsity now. But these guys have been doing a wonderful job carrying us. DeMarcus, here was a player of what he made, all-conference yesterday, or all-tournament team, which was really well. And DeMarco probably would have made it if he was gone yesterday. So he's missing a big part of our team, and he had to go to his grandmother's funeral. So, our hopes and prayers are with him all yesterday. But, we have a young little group. But like I said, our veterans are playing well. We have a big man by the name of Joshua Wilborn, who's doing pretty well playing inside. And we have a transfer, Marcus Henderson, that came from Sligo, that's playing pretty well for us, too. So basically, we're just feeling our way through the season. We should be 3-1 instead of 2-2, though. So we got to get ready to go down to Atchison this Tuesday, our first league game, which is going to be tough down there all the time. But our guys are really working hard. They're dedicated. They're in the weight room. We're running on the stairs. Their grades are good. So the future's bright. We just got to get our chemistry together. And a lot of our guys just have to learn to grow up and play under the lights a little bit to help these guys out. But after that, we'll be fine.
Jamarcus, talk a little bit about taking over. You've been a starter for the last few years and taking over that leadership role now that, JT and James McNeil and all those guys are gone.
I mean, it's big for me. I could always do it. I felt that I didn't need to do it as much with J-Mac and JT because we need to balance out the team and not everybody be a scorer. But this year, I'm taking it on pretty well so far, scoring every game and leading everybody underneath.
DeMarco, talk a little bit about your getting a little bit more playing time this year with those guys gone and as well, the work that you put in over the summer to prepare for this season.
Well, I had to step up big time because, we lost all the seniors, so I really had to step up. Last year, I had to play my role as a passer, get in the game, put in intensity. This year, I have to score the ball. I have to score the ball. I have to prepare my team to win. So, in the offseason, we have to work hard.
With the bigs you had last year, Coach, rebounds was almost a given, and you guys were able to leak out. James McNeil get a lot of, long passes for transition game. Talk about some of the adjustments you got is going to make strategy-wise and, maybe more team rebounding as opposed to relying on those bigs.
Exactly. Like you just said, we've been really working on rebounding as 5 this year. Like you said, last year we kind of get away if somebody didn't box out. The big boys up under there that would clean everything up. But this year, everybody's got to put a body on a body. So every day in practice, we've been really emphasizing rebounding and blocking out, and even offensive rebounding, going to the board strong with the 3, 4, and the 5 men. So those are some of the major adjustments. We may play a little more zone, too. I hate to because, we're pretty much a man-to-man press team. But, you got to keep some people up under the basket that can help rebound. We have another guy, sophomore, by the name of Randy Campbell, that's come along pretty well, too. 6'4" kid, played JV last year, played a little varsity. But he helps rebound pretty well, too. So the major adjustments are just working on blocking out better with technique and then playing maybe a little bit more zone, and our post defense, too. We can't leave that out, too. We got to be able to get around people a lot better. We have a tough game coming up here, Thursday in that Hy-Vee shootout. Yeah, against Liberty North. I heard they have a 6'9" kid that's supposed to be D1, potential. So on TV, so we got to be ready to represent for the city right there. We got to box out well, to be honest, as a team.
Talk about the exposure your team gets. You've had a lot of success, so kind of get a little fruit from the work that you put in there. But talk about the exposure that Washington gets, the Hy-Vee shootout and getting to go to Sprint Center and different things like that.
Yeah, so we have been blessed. Good Lord has been good to us to see how hard these young men have been working, and the young men in the past to where we are blessed to play on television like 3 times every year. So we have our first time coming up right here, like you said, in the Hy-Vee shootout, which is a good deal on Metro Sports. Gives these young men a lot of exposure, and college coaches get to see them play. And then we come back on Martin Luther King Day that we've been blessed to playing at the Sprint Center. But this year it'll be over at the Missouri Fieldhouse. Okay. We play, I think it's Southeast this year and that. And then we'll probably have, from what I'm hearing, a game of the week, at our place this year, or it'll be somewhere where, the whole KCK can kind of be shown a little bit. But we really try to take pride at Washington with my boys and, representing for the city. And we don't just think, all we want to do is try to play good against league. We want to represent everywhere we go. We've already played 2 teams from Topeka. We beat Topeka West and we've beaten Topeka High, the big 6A school in Topeka. So we're the king of Topeka so far already. But no, these young men really do a good job working hard, and they're being blessed to play on TV, and they're getting scholarship offers. Jamarcus is getting scholarship offers calls already. DeMarco here is already getting Division I looks too. So, but it's paying off. The exposure's paying off really good. These guys are being blessed to be on television.
So, Jamarcus, you guys have been on hunted the last few years. You guys win league. You've been pretty consistent with being able to do that. But talk about how you got to keep yourselves on top in your senior year here to try and make sure that nobody comes up and gets you guys this year.
This year, without the bigs, I just think it's going to be more of a running game. We had to D up with intensity the whole game and not just rely on the bigs to just block everything at the rim. You got to stay in front of everybody and keep them outside of the paint.
So, DeMarco, tell you, if somebody hadn't seen Washington so far this year, the first 4 games, how would you describe how you guys are playing?
I think we're playing very well, but I think that we need to work on some things. Everybody needs to work on some things, so we just need to play harder.
Coach, how you think the league stacks up this year? Obviously, everybody's going to be shooting for Washington and want to try and knock you guys off this year. You shared the title with Wyandotte last year, but talk about what your goals are for this year for league.
Right, yeah, it's to win league. Obviously every year we've been league champs 3 years in a row. So, we take a lot of pride in that. But to be honest with you, I think the league's wide open. From looking at the scores and what everybody has coming back, I think anybody can win it. So we know every day at practice that we have to work extremely hard. So when we go to a Wyandotte or a Sligo or down at Sumner, not to leave out Harmon or Atchison because it's going to be tough there too, that you got to be prepared and be ready. So I think it's wide open, but to be honest with you, I don't want to say this wrong. If my boys work like I know we can and keep getting better, I still think we can win 4 in a row. I still think we're the team to beat. These guys just step up and continue to get better because we've been playing tough competition already and holding our own, and this is a rebuilding team a little bit. I like to say reload, but when you, like I said, when you have 2 sophomores and 3 freshmen playing varsity and playing minutes, not just sitting on the bench. This past tournament, yesterday, they had to get in and help. So if we work hard and continue to get better, I still think we're the team to beat.
Right. Talk a little bit about the show you put together. I got the opportunity to come on there with you, but I know you had a little bit of fun with that, but sitting on the other side now, you're getting interviewed. Talk a little bit about that show that you're doing and why you chose to do it.
Thank you. It's called A Coach's Corner. I've been blessed to be on there. Mr. Carlos Nelson, who owns Cascade Sports, he came, a couple of years ago and was like, we need to do some shows for the student athletes. So what my vision is for the show is for any kid to be able to go on that show and tune in and see, this is what I need to do to get a scholarship. This is what I need to do if I'm going to graduate from high school and go to college. And even if you don't go to play ball, in college, you just can tune into the show and see, this is what I need to do to be an outstanding person, be able to listen and work with people and take direction and, those kind of ideas. So the show is going really well. I haven't got a chance to get over there in the studio lately because I've been with my fellas, so I haven't really been worried about it too much, but been blessed to have it. And like I said, I just want it to be where any student athlete can go on there and get direction to follow the dreams that they have for themselves. And thank you for being on there, too. That was a great show.
No problem. Thank you. Jamarcus, this is your 4th year now. You're a senior. Talk a little about your journey to this point and, playing for Coach King and being a part of this program.
My journey, it's been kind of tough. First year started varsity as a sophomore. It was kind of scary playing with JT. So I was under the wings of JT and J-Mac because they were experienced. Playing with Coach King, he motivates you every day. He pushes you. He brings the best out of you and everything. And so it's been tough, but I think I'm following under pretty well.
So, DeMarco, talk about your summer. I know you play AAU and you had a successful summer. Talk a little bit about how you bring that into this year, and what you want to do with your game.
So the summer, I broke my wrist, so I really didn't get to play a lot, but I had a lot of confidence in myself because I told myself that I had to play harder, and I got to show people, what I really can do for this team. So,
had good workouts with Nate.
Yeah, I had some good workouts and all that.
So you mentioned Wilborn. Who are the other starters? I mean, along with these two.
Okay, with these two, like I said, you had Josh Wilborn at the center. We have Marcus Henderson, who transferred in. And then we have Randy Campbell, the sophomore, at the 3.
Okay.
And they're gelling, playing well. Like I said, the team we lost to yesterday, believe it or not, Word Academy, they had, my tallest kid is 6'4", Josh Wilborn. They had a 6'7", 6'7", and a 6'8", 8th grader.
Oh, really?
Playing. Oh, yeah. It was real down there. They were very tall. Probably the tallest team we'll see all year. Really? And we should have beat them. We lost by 1 point, and we go 20 for 35 from the free throw line. We beat ourselves. Even with Hogan Prep, we played a tough little Hogan Prep team, and it was their fifth game. They're now 6-1, I think, if I'm not mistaken. They won it all last night. I know it was between them and Raytown South, but it was a 1 or 2 point game. They ended up beating us by 8 because they pulled away at the end. We had to foul and things and stop the clock, and they made some free throws. But they're tough too, and they had just lost in a tournament somewhere against St. Joe Central last week. So, the Missouri schools, they get a little break on us. They play 5 games before we get 1 in. Right. And then they have an experienced team coming back. So I really think our season that we've been going through so far is going to prepare us for league and for sub-state and hopefully get back down to state again for the 3rd year in a row.
Absolutely. All right, Coach, we appreciate you guys taking the time and coming out with us, and good luck the rest of the way.
Hey, thank you, and we appreciate everything you guys are doing, and keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right.